So I designed some modular shelves that I started printing, and while printing I realized that my shelves look kinda terrible. And no, it wasn't just the design or the color choices, but the surface, more specifically the bottom side of the shelf, which is printed as the top layer. While it is the bottom side which no one sees, I know it's there. So part of the reason why that happened were the nozzles. I still had the original hot end on my Creality, and my AnyCubic wasn't far from that. That's why I went to AliExpress to spend some of my hard-earned coins for some good discounts and buy the cheapest hot end kits I could find. I just want to congratulate myself since I found hot ends and 4 nozzles for both printers for just 13 euros, shipping included. Well, do they work? How do we swap the nozzles or the hot ends? Well, you're about to find out. So first, let's take a look at the problem here. As you can see, the corners of the prints don't look great and there's still a blob of filament on the nozzle. If we take a closer look at the hot end, you can definitely tell that it hasn't been changed in a while. In the new set, we got a 0.4, a 0.2 and a 0.8 nozzle, but also the one that I have installed in the hot end right now is a 0.6. So a total of 4 nozzles. And the hot end looks like this, clean, like it should be, and it's basically the same as the original. To change the nozzle and the hot end, you need the nozzle tool, some thermal grease and your 2mm hex key. Now we can get started with replacing the hot end. First you want to retract the filament and then unload it. And you want to do this before you replace the hot end. Don't ask me how I know. After that, you can cool down the hot end enough so that you can touch it and start taking off the front housing of the extruder. This has a fan cable, so you want to unplug that as well. Then you can start working on the cables. You can carefully start pulling them off, but just beware, some of them have glue on them that you need to remove with your side cutters or your pliers, and then carefully pull them out. Just a heads up, you don't need to undo this top cable or the motherboard and the screws on the motherboard in case you don't change your heatsink, but I just did it just to show you this part as well, and it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. If you do remove the motherboard, you want to undo the top cable as well and the 3 screws. Just remember that the bottom left screw is a little bit longer than the others. By the way, when you undo the thermistor and the heater cables, this is not supposed to happen, so just be careful not to break anything. At least it was the cable that we are replacing anyways, so it shouldn't matter. Once we fight every last bit of glue from the last cable, we can finally remove the motherboard completely and set it aside. Then we can move on to taking off the silicone sock, which should just come out by pulling it and wiggling it a little bit. And now we have access to the hot end screws. We can use our 2mm hex key to undo those screws and then wiggle it out. The hot end might come easily, but if the thermal paste has dried a little bit or the filament is stuck there, it might need some force. But eventually when you get it out, just take note that there's 2 spacers that you need to have where the screws go so that the hot end is screwed in the right amount. Then you can take your thermal paste and apply it on the throat of your nozzle. You can spread it out using the original packaging or a piece of paper or something similar. After which you can start aligning your nozzle in its place. Make sure you don't lose your spacers. Then take the 2mm hex key and then do the process in reverse. After you screwed in the 2 screws holding down the hot end, you can also put the silicone cover back on the nozzle. If you do remove the motherboard here, make sure when you're screwing back the motherboard that all the screws pass through the fan as well, and that the slightly longer screw is on the bottom left corner. Other than that, there's not too much to worry about. As long as you're careful, you shouldn't break any cables. After you plug everything back in and screw all the screws in, you can finally just plug in the fan and put the top cover back on. Now you can feed your filament back in the hot end and then heat up the nozzle to test if it extrudes. If it does, you should be in the clear, but just in case, I do recommend you do a full calibration, especially if it's a different kind of nozzle than the original. Now, if you just want to change the nozzle and not the whole hot end, the process is quite similar, but there's a couple differences. First of all, you want to start undoing the cables, and you can actually just take off the front cover and not the motherboard or the cables and everything else. And no, you don't need to unscrew the hot end either like I do right here, but call this practice. After I remember that I don't need to do this, I put the motherboard back together and we can forget about this. So what you want to actually do is heat up the nozzle to 240 degrees, and when it's at 240 we can take a 12mm wrench and the nozzle wrench that should come with your printer or your nozzle kit. Then you can use the wrench to hold down the hot end and start unscrewing the nozzle, and watch out, the wrench gets hot really quickly when you screw the nozzle. You can fully undo the nozzle and change it to a new one, but I won't be doing that since I already have the new nozzle installed. Then you can let it cool down, put the silicone sock back on, and don't even ask what I'm doing here. This is probably not the most optimal way. As you can see, I can just use my fingers and not burn. Then plug back in the cable for the fan and put the top cover back on and screw in the screws. Again, you do want to check that your printer is actually extruding, so heat up your nozzle back to 240 or whatever your filament needs and try extruding, and do a calibration for your printer, so you shouldn't have any issues down the line. So if we do the same for the AnyCubic, inside the package we find the hot end and 4 nozzles. These are in different sizes, so you can choose the one that you want to use. The hot end looks quite different to the original one, but also doesn't have a PTFE tube down the throat, which is good in my opinion. Now, to change it, you want to also start with retracting the filament, so you have a little bit easier time actually taking off the hot end. Then you can move the hot end to the front, so it's easier to access, and then just pop off the front cover and unplug the fan cable. After you put the front cover aside, you can flip up the lever on the front so that releases the hot end. Watch out, as the name suggests, the hot end is hot. You can wiggle it out a little bit and also unplug the cable to be able to fully take out the hot end. It should just slide right off. Now you can take your new hot end and slide it back in, and then plug the cables and then run the cables on the hook that's meant for them. Now you can just plug the fan cable back in on the front cover and snap on the front cover and you're done. Now this is how AnyCubic instructs you to change the hot end. And of course the last thing is to extrude, so heat up your hot end and make sure that extruding works. What AnyCubic doesn't mention is something that I recommend, and that's applying thermal paste on the throat of the hot end. When you remove the old one, just add some thermal paste on the throat of the nozzle, and then otherwise the process is exactly the same. Like I showed you earlier, you want to make sure that the hot end is properly seated. If it's not all the way in and you start printing, it might scrape the bed. So just push it all the way and then lock it in place. Now that you are done with your hot end change, you can enjoy this movie grade transition. Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. Well, at least our extruding works flawless. Well, we can always try that again. Our extruding works flawless. Well, close enough. Then you want to finally do the calibration on your printer, especially if you change the material on your hot end. After changing out the hot ends and calibrating them, everything's been running great. Even though I switched from 0.4mm nozzle to a 0.6 one on the K1C, everything's been plug and play. My desk looks like this at the moment, so that's why I'm printing all these parts, and you'll see in a second what I'm making. But aside from one small issue with Lego filament, I have had the prints looking better than before. This shouldn't be moisture because I print from a dry box. Anyways, and now that we have the last dowels most on the floor, I can show you what I'm building. This is a modular shelf that I designed that you can assemble without any screws or glue or any other external hardware. You just plug in the dowels to the walls and then they support the shelves and keep them in place. I also made some supports in the back so that it gives the shelf some extra stability. You can also make this as wide as you want to make it and also have either 1 to 3 shelves per section. The assembly is quite straightforward, so I'll just let you enjoy this for a while. So how would I rate these AliExpress hot ends? Personally, I would give them a solid 13 out of 13 points. Both of them heat up really quickly, the print quality is great, and also the hardened steel nozzles are very nice, since PETG doesn't stick to them as much as normal brass. Although my Creality still has brass nozzles, but I do have a hardened steel one flying right towards me as we speak. So if you want to save a little bit of money on your hot ends and nozzles, definitely get one from AliExpress without worrying. There are links for the hot ends and nozzles that I used in the description if you want to grab a couple for yourself as well. If you want to make the shelf, the files are down there too. You know what else is down there? The like button, so go hit it. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you for watching and we'll see you on the next one.